Alright guys, 2012 Hyundai Genesis. You got a DIS button not working. This is the, I think it's display information system. I'm not really sure, but anyways, Hyundai Genesis with the navigation option. You would have the knob here. Let me get my original knob. Essentially, it never worked. So I tried putting all types of crap on there, but regardless, I finally found something off of eBay. This is from Korea, so some of the buttons actually doesn't match up as far as the nomenclature on it. However, I just finally got this crap off, and I just have the wiring harness connected to it. So as of right now, to my happy surprise, everything seems to be working. Finally, it's able to scroll, you know, go back and actually scroll. I wasn't able to do any of this before, so it was kind of a bummer. Really nice car, but I just couldn't change anything. I was doing my radio on basically voice command, where I set the preset, and that actually worked okay, but obviously now I can actually go into everything. So this was about 250 bucks shipped from Korea. Came in like within a few days, so I'm happy. And next we'll show you how that actually works, the steps. Little bit tricky and a little bit annoying, but I still have to figure out now how to get in the back of this to unscrew it. But it looks like, just from right now hooking it up, looks like it's working. Alright, so now on to how to get the center console loose, essentially. So the first thing you're going to have to do is take the knob off. It's going to be very stubborn. Please don't use a vice grip, because this shit will happen. And it won't do anything anyways. I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to buy a new one. But yeah, don't use vice grip, because it's actually not, there's no threads. So you just have to yank it out. And it's going to be in there, stuck pretty good. But I did finally get it out just with hand force. I'm sure there's some device out there that you could, you know, create more lever on it, but regardless. And then you're going to have one of these pieces. There's trim removal piece, and you just kind of work your way around, essentially, you know, all throughout the seams. And then you just pry it up. I think it's held by a couple of clips like this. And that's, you know, what holds it in. And then essentially you're just gonna have to put it up like that. That's how much room you have to work with to get the screws underneath. What I did was just kind of looked at this design and just kind of guesstimate, you know, how far the screws are gonna be. So I believe it's 4. I already got 2 out, so I'm gonna be working with the other one towards right here. So I already took these 2 out from underneath. Again, I'm sure there's a way to take the whole thing off. I haven't really seen any type of YouTube video that shows that, so I'm just kind of doing it, you know, with what I'm presented with here. And I think I should be able to get the other one. This, of course, helped, like a short stub Phillips. If there was a shorter one than this, that would be great. But the ones towards here, you're going to have the actual hole underneath to work with, so it should be all right. So you'll have that much space inside there. All right, of course, that's a wire harness. I tested. All right, guys, it looks like I had to take off the bezel around the DVD player to get more leverage on pulling this whole piece a little bit up to where I have room to get into the screws, and everything seemed to be pretty easy, with the exception of this one right here with the little wiring harness. Yeah, this thing right here. So, but I got my screwdriver in there pretty good, so that's pretty much it. And then we just install the new one, go from there. Alright, looks like we got all 4 screws in. It wasn't the easiest thing, just because of the limited amount of space. I suppose you could take this whole console off. That would have probably worked, but I mean, I just decided not to do that.
Christmas in Evergreen. Bells are ringing. Premieres tonight at 7. Only on...
So this knob, though it may not, you know, be like a big deal, I wasn't able to edit any of my audio settings, and it was just completely off. You know, as far as like bass and treble and all that. So it's good that I'm able to do that now. Now I can actually turn it up without the speakers crackling. Looks like the bass was just a little bit too high, you know, to get some decent volume inside. And also, obviously, any type of tune, presets for radio. Also now I'm able to actually go, I went into the engineer mode. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, obviously this is an American spec, not a Korean. It's not really a Prada, even though it's an Rspec, but I'm able to change it to where it says Genesis Prada on the startup, which is kind of neat. And yeah, I'm able to actually press the enter button and that works. So even though this little pesky knob is kind of small, it does do a lot of things on here. I've been able to live without it for a year and doing the radio on the presets. But now all is good.